You know, a lot of problems that a lot of Western women have is that they lead into relationships or a potential relationship like a man would lead into or talk of himself to impress a woman. Case in point, I want you to hear this woman and what she says. Now, the brother definitely is spot on, but it's some things that he, maybe didn't touch that I want to expound on. So let's go ahead and roll it.
I'm not thinking about a potential man that doesn't even exist yet because I haven't decided who I want to be with. So I don't give a what he may or may not like for me, because I'm going to be happy as an individual first. So I got 2 bachelor's degrees. I got a certificate. I'm in graduate school, graduated top of my class. I started 2 businesses of my own. I pay for all my own bills. I have my own place. I have been on my own for a very long time. I have a lot of shit going for myself that makes me happy. I'm all about personal growth and development.
You did say you want a serious relationship, right, with a man?
Eventually, yeah.
Okay. All this gibberish that you're talking about, like, oh, me, own. I have my business. I have this. I went to school for that. That's all pish posh to a man because we don't care about that. I want to know, are you nurturing? Are you caring? Are you going to be my cheerleader? Are you going to cook? Are you going to clean? All this other stuff that you're talking about, guess what? Men generally don't care about that. So if you're not actually working on the stuff that men want, you will never get access to the relationship key. That's why you're 32 and you're single.
Now, first of all, you see her overall attitude. Her attitude is not a good attitude. Then at the same time, I already know some men is going to point out something very obvious about this woman. I'm going to be nice, but they're going to point out something obvious and they're going to say she should be the last person to be running off at her mouth with that kind of attitude. But I'll let y'all talk about that in the comments. I've also said to y'all that this modern woman issue is not, because sometimes they try to say it's, some black women with that. No, it is a westernized problem that touches every particular community. You can hear the same thing said in every community. Go talk to men of all communities. They will tell you they're dealing with the same issues and problems. But ladies, when you go and talk to a man and you tell him, I got this, me, my own, I got a degree, I got this, this all men hear when you start talking like that. That's it. That's all men hear. They don't hear nothing you saying. Because when you come up and say, I got a degree, we do, okay, that's cool. I got a business. I make my own money. I pay my own bills. Hey, I got this business. I got 2 businesses. Hey, I made this kind of accomplishment. Hey, they gave me this kind of award at the city council because, I brought so much business in a particular quarter. When men hear that, they're not hearing anything. You're talking like what a man would say to a woman, because men are judged on our accomplishments as men and what we can provide. So you flip that same conversation to a man and the man say, yeah, I got a degree over here and that degree, allowed me to open up my business over here. And yeah, my business is doing very well. I got X amount of employees, the city council, did this and that and the third. So when a man is talking like that, a woman is listening and say, okay, so this man is definitely a provider. He's a business owner. And he haven't even got some prestige in the city, to the point that the city council is even recognizing him. That makes that man attractive to a woman. But flipping it on the other side, that men actually will start to even despise you for talking like that. Why? Because it's like you trying to compete with him. That's how you hearing it. You trying to compete with him and one up him in the area of provision, and it's how they hear it. Like the brother said, they don't want to know all that. First of all, they always want to know if you are nice. Do you smile? Are you a good person? Are you nurturing? Do you have children? Okay, you don't. Do you want children? How many children do you want? I mean, do you want to work from home, work outside the house, or you just want to be a stay-at-home mom? Or what kind of, religion you practice, or you don't practice no religion? What's your political affiliations? Are you not political? How do you feel about travel? How do you feel about family? That's the kind of things that men trying to find out, right? On top of men assessing you physically and, want to see what it do, right? But that's kind of what men are looking at. Men aren't looking at women to provide anything for them. And if a man gets excited about you providing money for him personally, then that's a bum. Now, men will hear everything you're saying, and that's good that you know how to make money. That's beautiful. But a real man's not looking for you to provide a thing. Even though he could be supportive of your businesses, and I'm not knocking women for having businesses. Listen, have the businesses, have the recognition. But when you go on a date, that's not even the time to talk about that. You could talk about that. Now, if he say, hey, what you do for a living? And say, oh, well, I own my own business. Oh, okay. What kind of business you own? Oh, I own this kind of business. And say, oh, how's the business going? You could just discuss it just as it comes up, but don't lead into the conversation like that's what should make you look good is financial accomplishments. No, that's not how men are hardwired to even pay attention to you. Do you realize the women that get all the attention for the most part don't have no businesses? They don't have nothing. They prioritize their looks. They go to the gym, they do surgery, do all that mess they're doing. But you notice how they get all these $1 million athletes? Most of the $1 million athletes, $1 million actors, rappers, dudes in the business world, whatever, notice that they ladies aren't boss chicks, at least when they first meet them. Now, maybe later they'll help them, get a business or whatever, because that's what they want to do. But they know 9 times out of 10 don't marry the boss chick. They just really don't. Why? Because the boss chick have an attitude. She has to walk in the air like a man to a point. She has to, because the majority of the world she's going to be dealing with is men. So in order for her to compete in that world, they got to compete like a man. And with time, as you compete like a man, you're going to start turning into a man in your attitude. And that's why they lead with their accomplishments. That's one way a woman's not walking in femininity, fellas. And when they go on a date with you and they lead with accomplishments and not lead with who they are, they're not resting in their femininity. They're not leaning more into it. They're not trying to draw you into them with their femininity. Because a woman that practices her femininity very well, she literally will draw you into her, literally, without even touching you. She can do that. But when they're acting like a man, you're like, if you stop leading with your accomplishments and only speak on, what you do for a living as it comes up, because most men not even checking for that. But if it comes up, you discuss it and leave it at that. Don't even talk about it much unless it comes back up in conversation again, right? But lean more into who you are as a woman. And that's how you're going to get the man. But all that boss chicks will stay single, or they going to have to be tricking off with men.